3SFX presents the Indoob podcast with your host, T. Sterling Watson.
Good morning, Indubians. I'm T. Sterling Watson.
And I'm Kortney.
This is the Indoob podcast, or Drive Time meets late night talk show, as we aim to entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Thank you for stopping by and pressing play. We're recording live from Little New Indooby on the corner of T'Chaka and MLK Drive, and we are here. I almost was presenting like we had a special guest, but we don't have a special guest today. But it is just a special day. It is July 4th, the day that we're recording, but we already celebrated our independence last month. So it's just a day off for us.
Yep.
So,
which we will gladly accept, gladly take.
well, yes, absolutely. I didn't ask you my question. So, Kortney, Bianca, Hinton, Allen, how are you doing today?
I am okay. Despite my nasally voice, I am doing much better than I sound.
Yes, I was a bit concerned when you were telling me prior, and like even as days were leading up and you had, taken medications and such, and this is my first time actually hearing your voice, actually since probably the last episode, because we normally chat in between, and sad we didn't, but I'm glad you're feeling better, even though I believe you are feeling better than you sound. So
Yes.
There's that. Yeah.
Thank the
Very
Lord.
good.
I was down pretty bad, but I'm good. I'm on the up now, so I'm good.
Good. And you have your doctor's notes and everything in order, and everything is good to
Of
go.
course.
Of course, good. Very good, very good. Yeah, so there's a lot going on, even with the days off that we've had. Like for me, I'm in the process of moving. So I'll be moving to, across the city. I'm still staying in the same city, but just a larger one because our family is growing larger. So we need a larger space, another bedroom. And the packing has commenced. We've begun taking things off the walls and just looking at like bare naked kitchen. Well, at least the kitchen walls, because we had all these posters for learning and planning with calendars and whiteboards and everything, and all that's cleared off now. So I'm like, oh wow.
So much space.
There's space. Like it's like, oh, we don't need to go anywhere. We just cleaned off all the walls. Now we have more space. But no, it's making it real is what's happening. So
yeah. When's moving date?
It'll be at the end of the month. So with that being said, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't even looked that far ahead in the calendar. So if anything, we may take a brief hiatus, one of at least 2 or 3 that may be happening, because the next hiatus would be when a new baby is here. So yeah. So that's just a bit of a heads up for all our dear listeners and fans who are looking for us. I'm like, where's the next episode? Well, hopefully we'll try to have something in place so I may not necessarily have to skip a week, but like I do intend to one day. I don't know if I'll have to hire like an intern just to go through some past episodes, like, hey, find the best of clips and put that together for us, and then have that be like a special episode. Because not only that, because this episode is 194. So
wow,
that means 200 is like right around the corner.
It
is. And I was already asked by a dear friend who was like, what are you going to do? You're going to do another live episode? And I'm like, gee golly whiz. I mean, I definitely would like to. So I don't know. I don't know yet. Like I have to put things in motion, and if that's going to be the case, then I want to make it big. Like it's like 200 episodes. That's a huge deal. So
that is a huge deal. It's a big number.
Yeah, it is nice and round, nice and even. You can divide it, just nicely and everything. So we'll see. We'll see. But if anything happens, I will definitely drop a little, I don't know, a teaser or an announcement or something within this feed. So that way, if any official announcements come through, you will hear it here. as well as any of the social medias that I tend to. I've been branching out a little bit more on the Facebooks, on the Instagrams, on the TikToks. So there will be
Mhm.
promotion for if there is any big event to be had, which hopefully there will be. I just don't know what that is yet because yeah. With that, all of that said, if you have any suggestions, please email us at indoobpod@gmail.com of what you might want to see. And of course, we would love your questions so we can answer them possibly live if that's the case. So yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
hmm hmm Um, so yeah, that's a bit of the house cleaning, a little bit that they like to the word that they like to use of things podcast of nature that we're letting the Indubians in on. Um, so what have you been up to? Have you been up to anything in particular? And I don't want to, tax your voice too much because still recovering, but even though you're good.
Well, I've been drinking a lot of tea, and that's tongue in cheek because I've been sick, and that's kind of what you do is you drink tea and you lay around, you sleep, and you eat your soup. But I love tea anyway, and so it's kind of a nice treat to have a good excuse to um, make more of it, but also experiment with it. So
hmm
one of the things that's come out of this is I've incorporated fresh ginger root and like fresh lemons. Like I normally use a lemon juice, but it's just the kind you can refrigerate. But I
hmm
actually made a concoction made out of ginger, fresh lemons, cayenne pepper, turmeric,
Okay.
and honey. And so I made a tea out of that, but I also made like an extra batch. Essentially, it's called a ginger shot, where you take the concoction and you put it in the fridge and you take it every morning. And so I haven't been taking it every morning, but like I have a ton of it. And so I can, for the next week, I can take, a little bit of it, pass it around to the family. And basically, it's all the good stuff in there to help boost your immunity, gives you all kinds of other good vitamins and things that you need. So I have been like concocting potions in my kitchen and it's been awesome.
Now, do you
It's
have a
been a
juicer?
nice I don't have a juicer, but I have blenders and I have um like food processors. No juicers though.
I mean, it
Apparently you
sounds like
can
everything that
do
you're, yeah, it
yeah,
sounds like
the
you
way
you're
I
you're
did it,
making it work. Yeah.
the way I did it was by boiling the ingredients and then just straining it. And essentially a juicer kind of I guess does the same thing but maybe makes it quicker. Um
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't use a juicer, but I think I can do this with the blender or one of the many food processors I have. So next batch I will probably try to blend it because it is quicker that way. So
Yes.
I don't know, we'll see. I do like
I
the
mean, hey,
smell of stuff like brewing on the stove though. It's a really good
oh,
smell. So
that is like I can't even think of the word, but just the most divine thing because I
yeah.
that's how I would make apple cider as well as
Mm-hmm.
applesauce, and it
Mm-hmm.
just makes the kitchen or maybe even the whole household just smell just so harvesty and like, what's going
It
on
does.
here? And then yeah,
It
and
really
I
does.
love it. I do, and yeah, and even with your ginger shots, that's something that has been produced here at this household, and
Mm-hmm.
it used to be sitting in the back of the refrigerator because certain people don't like the taste of ginger, even though they're trying to take ginger to
What?
get
Ginger's
better.
awesome. Love the taste of ginger. Now it can't
I
go
mean,
too
I
strong and you can make it like way too spicy, but love the taste of ginger.
oh yeah, I do too, I do too. So it was there, but I don't think it was, and I think what she was doing was mixing it with other things so she could tolerate
Mm-hmm.
it a little better. But I
Yeah.
mean, all of what you just said is absolutely correct that there are so many health benefits to it.
Yeah.
Even if you're
Mm-hmm.
not like sickly, just boosting your immune system and like
Yeah.
it's good for you. Yeah.
I'm gonna add this as part of my daily like morning routine, maybe nightly routine if I forget in the morning and
Mm,
just really, incorporate it. And I made it so that like I sweetened it as it was boiling and you probably are supposed to sweeten it later, maybe, I don't know. But I made it so that I don't care for it super sweet. So it's just sweet enough to where you can tell that there's some kind of sweetener in it. For me, I use honey, but it takes a lot of the of it. So to
Okay.
me, it's like the perfect, it's somehow I got it just right. Now, I don't know if I can reproduce it, but
That was my next question.
reproduce it exactly. Yeah, I mean, I followed a recipe sort of, but I always tend to kind of do my own thing as well. So, you know, I can
Hmm.
reproduce it, but I don't know if I can get it exactly the exactly how I got it this time, the next time. So I don't know. It's gonna be
But
some trial and error, I guess.
right, and that's really what it is. And I think what you really perfect is the method on how you make it. It's just, you know,
Exactly.
yeah, because that's what I do when it comes to
Mhm.
air frying, and I've actually gone back to deep frying a little bit, trying to,
Mhm.
really nail getting chicken
Mhm.
wings right. So
Mhm.
yeah, so and I hate to well, I don't want to say I hate to say it. I just hate to do it. And it's important that you, in regards to chicken wings, you have to make sure that they're dry. So you can then
Yeah, so they can be
you get a
crispy.
yeah, you get a better crisp if they are.
Mhm.
It's just more work, and I don't want to do more work, but I do want to have good, tasty, crispy wings. So
Yeah.
do the work. It pays off later. Um, it takes a little bit longer if you want to do the dirt style or dirty style wings. Now, I think we've discussed this before. Are you familiar with what dirt style wings are?
I'm sure you have told me before because I remember the term, but I don't remember what that means.
And the other part of that is I don't know if it goes by any other term anywhere else because
Mm.
I've only heard it being talked about in Connecticut, and
Okay.
it could be going by a different name because I'm pretty sure there's got to be other places that do this. So what it
Mm.
is after you fry your chicken wing or wings,
Mhm.
because who's eating just one? But yeah, you fry your chicken
Exactly.
wings, you get them all sauced up, say, barbecue sauce, whatever, your flavor.
Mhm. Mhm.
You fry it again,
Ooh.
and then you sauce them again, and then you
Oh, so
serve them.
oh, we're getting quadruple. Well, I guess double the hits, or is it
Yes, like
quadruple? How many times did you do it?
well, you fry them twice, technically. They're being fried
Okay.
twice, but in between those fryings, they're being sauced.
Mhm. Sauced.
So you fry
Wow,
it, you sauce it, fry it again, then you sauce it again.
that's kind of amazing.
It sounds like you're
I
taking
love
notes.
that. Maybe, maybe not. It
Well,
sounds awesome though.
the
I bet it
only
tastes delicious.
oh, they absolutely were. Like they're sticky, but in the best way. Like, ooh, okay. And you
Yeah.
just, get in there and then get your little blue cheese on the side and just,
Mhm.
have a ball. And yes, I did say blue cheese. I am team blue cheese because I know the other one is ranch. I don't have a problem with ranch, but I prefer blue cheese. Do you have a stance on either dipping?
I'm okay with blue cheese sometimes. My
Mm.
go-to is ranch because to me, you can't really go wrong with it. Blue cheese every now and then. I gotta be in the right mood for it though, and it's gotta be the right
Mm.
sauce covering the chicken, the right
Right.
seasonings, I guess.
Yeah, because not every wing needs blue cheese because depending on the seasoning that's already or sauce that's already on the wing, like you don't need to mess with that because it's already like this is good. Like the blue cheese should be a compliment, shouldn't be overpowering it.
Exactly. Correct.
So
Yes.
that's
Very much
my
so.
thoughts and feelings. But as for blue cheese itself, I'm a big fan of. I like it occasionally on a steak. My absolute favorite thing is to put it on a burger with some barbecue
Hmm.
sauce. That is the absolute best. Just in case you've never tried it, but take my
Yeah.
word for it. It's amazing.
Okay. I sure take your word for it.
I mean, try it yourself, please. This is the
Going to.
time. Yeah, it is barbecue season or cookout season.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Not oven
be
season. Mm-mm.
not, no, 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 no. So be that person that brings the blue cheese and they're like, what's that for? And, it's like, well, you get your burger out and then you just put a little dab. Oh, you might have to bring your own barbecue sauce too, because yeah, that's not always readily available. They always got the ketchup and the mustard. I'm like, I don't want any of that. I need this and this and this. But as long
Hmm.
as you bring it, you're good. So yeah. I got way off track. That is not on my list of what I meant to talk about, but that was important.
Very
We need to
important.
just discuss these things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and since we're on the topic of like, they're not new inventions, customizations, if you will. Now, are you a Starbucks customer? I forgot what you're, if you are or not.
I mean, I go there every now and then. I almost went there to get a medicine ball this past week, but I
Hmm.
didn't. And because the line was like so ridiculous, I that was enough to send me on home. So I feel like a true Starbucks customer would have either gotten in line or like they probably would have ordered on the app or something. Or
Mm-hmm. Yep.
they would have suffered the line or the order from the app so they didn't have to worry about a line, or they would have gone to the next Starbucks. Me, I was just like, oh, whatever, and I went home.
Mm,
So I can't say I'm a Starbucks like customer. I go there every now and then.
okay. All right. Now,
Mm-hmm.
we have established that you are a tea drinker. So
Yes.
does that include chai?
Mm-hmm. It
Okay.
does. That's the only kind of actually that's what I get from Starbucks. I typically don't even get the coffee stuff.
Mm, okay.
Mm,
Well, in that
yeah.
case, I do have a drink for you. It does not have a name. It is something I picked up at a it's not even a secret menu. Because I do have a secret menu. Like I have a whole like website that has like 50 something secret menu items and
Mm-hmm.
they have
Okay.
their own titles and how to order them, but that's not what I'm going to tell
Nice.
you about. No. What I discovered and what was very delicious. Now I've gone to 3 to 4 different Starbucks and ordered this drink and kind of turned heads of the baristas that made it and served it, one of which is now a fan of it. And you would have to get a vanilla chai. This is an iced drink, by the way, because 'tis the season.
Okay. Just the
So
season. Mm-hmm.
right, vanilla chai,
Mm-hmm.
oat milk. I I think
Okay.
I don't know if it was originally served with oat milk or that's something I requested because of my lactose intolerance, but whatever, oat milk. And then make sure that they have strawberry puree for foam.
Oh.
Because
Okay.
if they don't have it, then just forget it. But if they do have it, then you want then you want
Just chunk the whole
strawberry.
thing.
Yeah, just forget the whole thing. But if they do have it, strawberry cold foam. So
Okay.
again, you're getting vanilla chai iced with
Mm-hmm.
oat milk, strawberry cold foam, and then
Okay.
enjoy.
I'm probably gonna have to have you text me that. I'm not gonna remember it. It's way too
Specific.
specific. Yeah.
Normally, I'm the one who has issues with words, but yeah, I will totally do that because I what I did was I took a picture of the cup after uh the barista made it for me because she's like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just in case, you ever want this again, then here it is, so that way you can remember. And sure enough, I actually had to check the picture because I had to make sure I got it right. But not this time. I actually
So
remembered. So
okay. Well, where did you get this recipe from originally?
there's a Starbucks. I mean, I won't feel like there's a Starbucks everywhere, but there's a Starbucks in a bookshop that I kind of frequent. So I decided
Mm-hmm.
like, let me look on their little chalkboard menu, see what they got over here. So they have all of these specialty drinks that I'm just making assumptions because I don't know what the origin of these drinks came from. But all of these
Mm-hmm.
specialty drinks have these names attached to them. And I think this one is called the Megan, I think.
Okay.
So, but they describe what's in them. So I'm like, well, okay, that sounds interesting. So let me try this one because I had
Mm-hmm.
one before, but it was too sweet. And that was, I don't know, like the Jenny or something. I don't know. I really don't remember what it was called, but I tried that one first. And usually I'm there in the early evening, so I don't want anything with a whole lot of caffeine in it, but just
Mm-hmm.
something good that just kind of perks you up and just makes you feel good. And this particular one really did it. I'm like, wow, this is great.
Okay.
So I went to work at Espen in the cafe. They have a Starbucks there. So I
Mm-hmm.
decided, let me see if I can order it here. Now, like a true Starbucks person, I do have an app where I can order my drinks ahead of time, but I don't think I could do this. I could do this one. I couldn't customize it. So I had to go to the actual barista. It's like, hey, can you make this? And then she was like, sure, I could do that. And then she was like, that sounds really interesting. So she made enough for herself. And then she
To
tried it.
taste. Okay.
Yeah. And she was like, wow, this is really good. I'm like, right. So yeah, it just, I'm trying to
Hmm.
spread the good word. And yeah,
Okay. So as I'm maybe gonna get the Starbucks app person, could I put that specifically in the app and then order it that way?
that
Or
I have
is
yet to
this
try.
something okay? Because I've never actually, as you can see, I don't have the app at all. So
Mhm.
I don't even know how to order drinks. I mean, I imagine it's very simple, but like specialized, customized stuff that's off the menu, I wonder how that would work.
Because the thing that I'm afraid of is ordering something and then they not have that specific ingredient that makes it, what it is.
Mm, mm-hmm,
So if they don't have that strawberry puree,
mm-hmm.
then yeah, I don't want to deal with it.
And I
So
feel like each one of those things is kind of, I mean, I feel like the strawberry puree probably is the it factor, but what if it's all of it mixed together that makes the drink, you know?
correct, correct. And I mean, I'm pretty sure vanilla chai by itself. I mean, it is delicious, but it's just that gives it that little fruitiness, that little okay, that makes it a little
Mm-hmm,
special. So, and it looks nice too. It's nothing too fancy. There's no swirls or anything. It's just
mm-hmm.
got a little pink top to it. So I'm like, okay. And the pink drink is delicious. That used to be on the secret menu, but it's now on
Oh,
the public menu.
okay.
I think it's under the refresher in case you're ever curious, but that used to be my go-to drink is the pink drink. So,
Okay.
I
I thought
mean,
the pink drink was from a different company, like an MLM company offers a pink
oh,
drink. So it's not the
oh, I
same
think I know
thing.
what you're talking. I think I know what you're talking about. But no, it's not the same thing. Like
Okay.
Starbucks
The
has a legit drink called the pink
called
drink.
pink
It's
drink.
made with,
Okay.
I think it's made with oat milk and strawberries. I think
Okay.
it's very good. And I think it does have some caffeine in it. So just a little heads up in case you're
Mm-hmm.
feeling a
Mm-hmm.
little like, wow, this is really good. Oh my God, I just got to, in case that happens, then you understand why. Because I did not know that
Yeah.
and I kept drinking them, wondering why I couldn't go to sleep. So yeah.
And that would be why.
hmm So there's just enough caffeine just to perk you up. Now that I'm talking about it so much, that is what I desire. And I cannot. It
I
is
know
too late in the day.
it is.
So
Maybe
yeah,
tomorrow. Go ahead and put your order in for tomorrow.
you're absolutely right. Because tomorrow I do go back to work. And yeah, I think I just might do that because I deserve.
Nice.
Yeah, I deserve.
You do deserve. Treat yourself.
Yes, yes. I was trying to also get you a bit of a writer strike update, and I do not quite have one, other than the fact that there are other people that are joining in, such as like hotel workers. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Actors have been joining in. I don't have I mean, I can easily Google this part. And how long or how many days has it been? Um, I'm Googling in live time. Writers strike. Oops. Uh, Day count, I guess, is what we're looking for. Because what I'm patiently
Yes.
waiting for is just to see if the actors, let's go there basically. The actors, they're
Mm-hmm.
still negotiating their contracts. Uh um and as of right now, they've been extended until I believe the 12th of this month. So we're still gonna see. I don't know, and I haven't really looked further into it because it's literally just popping in my head now if they've actually really striked together. Striked?
Mm-hmm.
Stroked?
Struck.
Struck. They haven't struck together.
Went on strike. It's probably the best way to say it.
I suppose, yes. They haven't gone on strike together. I don't know if that's fact, but that definitely would crumble Hollywood as we know it. I mean, it's already getting pretty bad because there are a lot of
Yeah.
productions that are trying to hurry up. Like, oh, let's hurry
Yeah.
up and finish before, yeah.
Yeah. While
So
we have the
they're
actors.
right. And before they, like, oh, no, we're striking and we're gone. But some of them have already kind of joined the picket lines, and there are productions that have shut down. And yeah, we're really gonna see the repercussions of it come this fall, as I've been talking about it the past couple episodes now. I've come across a video on YouTube that I would be happy to share with you, Courtney, as well as our listeners. I will send a link to it just in case you need a more of a recap of why the strike is happening, what can happen, and what has happened before. So I thought it did a really good job of just summarizing everything. And hey, that YouTube channel, which is called Skip Intro, got a follow out of
Mm,
me because I'm like, oh,
okay.
okay.
To
I'm mowing
proceed.
what you're growing. So, I will go back and watch some more of their video essays, if you will, because they've got some stuff on Lost, or a television show that I'm a big fan of. They did a piece on, why am I drawing a blank? Because I just watched it last night. Ashley and I, rather. Black Mirror, kind of discussing this last season, which I think you can
Mm,
handle, Courtney. I really do.
I don't
Just,
know. I've been wanting to jump in, but I don't know. I'm not
I
as convinced as you are just yet.
well, I will say, and this will also be a plug to Love Blurds as we get around to doing our review for Black Mirror, or at least this season, because we watched pretty much the rest of, and this last season's only 5 episodes, but we watched 4 of the episodes last night and
Mm,
one of them last week. And what's very interesting about this season is that it takes place throughout different, like, decades in the past. And it's
okay.
not so, yeah, and it's not so much based on technology, but more so maybe media as a
Mm,
as a medium, I suppose, and
mm-hmm.
just really kind of goes for that whole Twilight Zone kind of feel in a good
Okay.
way, since people
Okay.
already kind of compare it to Twilight Zone for today,
Yeah.
even though we've had one and you've dabbled into
They
Twilight Zone recently.
they are different shows though, let me tell you. They are so
um
different.
they are. Did you like what you did see? I
I
think I
did.
watched most of it.
I really did like what I saw. I didn't see much. I think I only saw the one episode that I kind of came there for, but it was really good. I loved it actually.
Which episode was that?
I think it was episode two. It was the one where the lady was a hotel manager, and she there's this big ball in the sky that just appeared, and nobody's freaking out about it, but they looked at it and they're just like, oh, and they look at it and they kind of zone out and become completely unresponsive. And she's like, okay. And it's like everybody in town, everybody that she comes across, and they're like,
Hmm.
didn't you know? Like this was scheduled. What are you talking about? Scheduled maintenance, world maintenance. And so it goes on from there. So it was a really good one.
Hmm.
Did you watch
I
that
have
one?
seen that one. I have, and I need to revisit it because I don't remember what happens after that. But
Hmm.
we'll keep it, spoiler free, just in case anyone
Yeah.
wants to see it. And
Yeah. You too, because you don't even remember how it ends.
exactly, I don't. I'm like, oh wow,
Spoiler free
that's
for you.
intriguing.
Yeah. It was a good one. I actually saw bits and pieces of it on TikTok and I was like, oh, I can watch this. Oh, I'm gonna watch it now. So it was
Hmm.
great.
Oh, because you got Paramount Plus now.
No, it's actually on Prime, maybe?
Oh, okay, because
I
the
think.
newest iteration of Twilight Zone is on Paramount Plus, and we've.
Then it was just season one then, because I don't think season two is there. I don't
Oh,
think. I'd have to look again, but I was able to watch it
okay.
for free. And maybe it was through like I can't remember, but I was able to watch it through Prime some type of way for
Hmm.
free. Hmm.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Perfectly fine. I mean, as long as it's legal is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, 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 it's legal.
Hmm.
Anybody, I
Not
believe, has access to it.
I'm not like pointing any fingers at anyone for, watching any movies recently
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
from other means where, people are just kind of standing up in the middle of their screen
Are you
because someone
talking
is
about
recording
yourself?
it.
Like, are you telling on yourself now, or what's
No, no,
happening
I'm
here?
actually telling someone that, well, someone told me because they saw Indiana Jones, the newest one, and
Uh-huh.
they watched it on some kind of service where they kind of acquire bootleg versions of the movie.
Okay.
And whatever version of this was, they went old school and actually like recorded it, probably on their phone,
Oh,
and then uploaded it.
wow.
So you would hear people coughing, people would stand up in front of the screen like, oh, wow, we're still doing this in 2023? Okay.
Apparently.
So,
Wow.
and, and apparently at some point, the movie itself that they were watching kind of repeated like the first 30 minutes. So they had to go through that first 30 minutes again. And I'm like,
Oh no,
all
that's what you
because you
get
wanted to,
though.
I mean, yeah, because you just wanted to watch it at home. You could have just went to the
Hmm.
theater and watched it there. And I mean, I've got my feelings about the movie itself because I have not seen it and I don't think I really want to. Like, did
Hmm.
we ask for a fifth Indiana Jones?
We didn't.
Mm,
We didn't. Somebody did, I guess, but
someone
I don't
did. I mean,
know.
and the fourth one, no one talks about, and there's reasons. Um, but yeah, here we are. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're gonna move on from there because it's
Yeah.
just it's awkward. I mean, and I'm sitting here judging it. I have not seen it, and it actually could be pretty good or decent, but
Mm,
I'm gonna wait.
okay. I'm not gonna be the one to try it out though.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be one that comes on Disney Plus because I think that's where the other ones are. So
Perfect.
yeah,
Exactly
I'll
where
wait
I was
until
gonna
that
watch it.
happens.
Hmm.
Hmm. Do you have any like feelings in regards to Indiana Jones? Is that are you a fan of the franchise?
I've never seen any of them. I've never seen
We're gonna
any
move on.
Indiana Jones.
We're
Yeah.
gonna move on without judgment.
Yep. So I don't care anything about this reboot or
Clearly,
whatever it is,
clearly.
sequel. I don't know.
Something I do know
Don't
you
care.
care about. Something I do know you care about. Are you going to be watching the prequel for um I almost said Mockingbird. That is not what it's called.
Oh,
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. Oh yeah, I sure
Yeah.
am. I actually have the book for it, and and I've had it for years. I had it ever since it first came out, and so I want to read the book before seeing the movie.
Hmm.
I don't know realistically if that's gonna happen though, but I definitely want to see the movie when it comes out. It looks pretty good. We'll see.
We'll
Not
see.
holding
We'll
my
see.
breath though. You
I think you may have if you do see it before me because that is going to be around baby time. So I may not be out in the theaters and my lovely wife wants to see it. So
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll take your word, your review. When should you see it by that time?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think we will move along to because I cannot think of a segue if I had thought about it, but then again, we've just kind of gone off tangent completely because I had thoughts. Talked to you in like weeks since the last episode. So,
Hmm.
had thoughts and feelings and such. So we'll go to our word watch.
Word watch.
Today's word is hipponym. Are you familiar with
Eponym?
hipponym? Hipponym.
No, I am not familiar with that.
Okay, I will spell it just in case for anyone who's out there with a pen and pad just ready and like, oh yeah, let's write that or type it, whatever. Hyponym. It is a word more specific meaning than a general or subordinate term applicable to it. For example, spoon is a hipponym of cutlery, or a daisy or a rose is as to a flower. So yeah,
What?
I'm trying.
It's not clear to me.
It's not clear to you? Okay. So
No, I need more examples.
more examples. A quarter is a coin, a penny is a coin, but not all coins are quarters, not all coins are pennies. I kind of reversed it because that's how I see it in my head because I've always ever since like whatever we learned geometry, we were told that all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares.
Okay, yes,
So
that makes
so
sense.
in that sense, another way to look at it is all chihuahuas are dogs, but not all dogs are chihuahuas.
Okay, okay,
But
I get that.
a
That makes sense.
hipponym, yeah. So chihuahuas are hipponyms
Okay,
because it's a specific thing of a larger group.
gotcha. Okay, that's cool.
And in a sense,
I never
dogs could also
knew.
be hipponyms. Yeah, I never knew this word existed either. till it emailed to
Because
me.
dogs are
So I'm like,
canines, right?
no, dogs. I was gonna say dogs are animals
Oh, okay, okay.
because not all. Because if you go backwards, then you realize like, oh, okay, yeah, all animals can't be dogs, but
True.
all dogs are animals. So yes,
And I guess canine is the like scientific name for dogs, right? I was thinking like a
or
wolf
canines.
is of, yeah, canines. Because a wolf is part of the canine family, but they're not a dog either. I don't know if that's correct though, but your example of dogs being animals, but not all animals are dogs, that is probably more accurate.
Yeah, and I think what you're going for is like the whole um lineup, and I don't know what the term of this is, where it's the what is it? Like the family and then the kingdom and then
Genus or something. No, that genus is
right.
plants. But you know what I
Well,
mean.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I do, and it's all like broken down, but that's basically
Yeah.
what it is, and they're all hyponyms of each other
Hipponyms.
until
Yeah.
you get to the final whatever the big thing is, like life or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because yeah, that goes into science, which I don't have those terms in front of me, what each of those are or is, but I do remember learning about them. I'm like, oh, this is part of this family, and this is part of this larger kind of kingdom, and that's a crustacean. It does not belong in this family. So yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. So yeah, that's hipponym. I came across that. Thought that was a fun little word because most words are fun. I'm not sure if I will use that one, but it's there. Now we will go to our Black History fact.
Black History.
Black History.
Black History.
Black History.
Facts.
This one I think I may have done before. And if I did, so be it. Because I found a new reason why to talk about it. And I don't know if it will ring, familiar to you, but today's Black History fact is Jerry Lawson. And
Mm.
Jerry Lawson, any bells ringing? No? Yes?
No,
Right.
yes, yes, but I don't know who he is. Like I know I've heard that name though.
Yeah, he actually has a Google Doodle made for him because he is the inventor of the video game cartridge.
Yes, that's it. Yes. Nice.
Yes. And then a little side note, as I just did a quick Google on him like a couple days ago, is that he's also the person who invented the pause button. So,
Hmm,
you know,
that's cool.
give him a high five, or you would
Right,
when
that's
he's no longer
yeah,
with
he
us.
passed
But yeah,
in what the 80s or sooner. More recently.
later. Yeah, more
Okay,
recently.
90s.
Yeah. Yes, 90s, I think.
Mm,
2000s. I'm not sure.
mm,
However, the reason why I'm bringing him up now, and this isn't a recommendation, but it is something else that I've watched recently that really grabbed my attention, and I ended up having to watch the whole thing through. And again, it's another thing that's like 5 episodes long. But there's a
mhm.
documentary series called High Score on Netflix,
Ooh.
and it's all about video games and like how they rose to well, it's just their history basically. I don't want to say they rose to where they are now because I mean it is what it is. Video games aren't going anywhere. They're just
Mhm.
evolving. So
True facts.
it's that's what it is. It's the evolution of video games. That's what this documentary is about. So
Okay.
with with it, they had to talk about Jerry Lawson and they had his I believe his son there to kind of discuss, his legacy and his importance
Mhm.
and, making sure that he's not forgotten. So I am so glad that they did that
That's
to,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, I mean,
I'm
really
glad for that.
the whole series is worth checking out, regardless if you
Yeah.
are into video games or not. I mean, especially if you are. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's good. It's good.
Well, we definitely are in this household, so I would love to. And I saw that's on my list of ones to docs to check out. So I definitely want to watch it soon. I know it's been out for a minute,
Yeah, I
but
I don't even know how I came across it. I think it was just one of those things where I guess the algorithm's like, you might want to check this out. I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I wasn't disappointed.
good, good, good. I'm looking forward to it.
Hmm. And then the only other one that I had started but didn't finish had to do with about American Gladiators. that whole thing back in the early
Mhm.
90s. I
Mhm.
think I only watched like maybe one or two episodes at my grandmother's house after all the Saturday morning cartoons went off. That's really my only exposure to it. So, but it was a wild world back then, that those early 90s. And I haven't finished that documentary, and Ashley's not too excited to finish it because she does not care. So,
Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah. And it was just on a whim. That's why I started watching it. I'm like, I just need something different. I was in a documentary mood, but I didn't really want to do something that had to do with somebody being dead, because there's, a dime a dozen of those.
Mhm.
And I felt like I was watching too many things that had to do with drugs. So I'm like, okay, let me back away from those a little bit too, because I just finished Snowfall, which I haven't really talked about on this podcast very much. But Snowfall was a very ooh, let me take a step back and breathe for a minute. Snowfall was recommended to me by a couple of my coworkers, and one in particular who was a champion for it. So I would give him updates as I progressed through the series. So first of all, because I forgot to tell him this then, but I did tell him since, the music that they choose on the show is absolutely great. It's just
Nice.
I need to back up again. This takes place in the 80s,
Okay.
takes place in LA, and
Mhm.
it's about our protagonist who gets into the cocaine game and
Okay.
eventually kind of discovers crack and sells that to the people. And it's his rise, his empire,
Mhm.
just, making more money. And then, it's that. That's what it is. That's what it's about.
Sure.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, so it's a great study on acting for one. On
Mhm.
another, it's just how money can really corrupt and just change people.
Mhm. Mhm.
And yeah, it was just actually really good. Like it's gripping, and it was a really great drama. Again, just something for me to like, oh, okay, it's Saturday night, let me get into this, and all the kids going to sleep. Say kids, just one of them, but still, just everyone's,
Still,
let me
yeah.
just yeah. It was on FX, but it's on Hulu now. So, definitely I would say check it out, but I'm careful of who I would recommend this to, because it's not for everybody,
Okay.
but it is
Yeah.
one it's up there. Like if you've ever watched The Wire, it's up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't tell my friends I've never watched The Wire, and they're all like
Yeah.
so into it, diehard fans.
Hmm.
But yeah, one day, right? One day.
One day. One thing that, and this is not a hook for you to get you into it, but it was something that I did kind of like almost want to call you immediately, because the show at one point takes place in Little Rock. Like they travel out there, and the people that they spoke to had that genuine like Arkansas or Little Rock accent. Like they weren't like just
That's
doing some
beautiful.
generic Southern accent. So I'm like,
Hmm. I
so
love
I'm
it.
like, it rings true. Like I don't know if they are actually from Little Rock or what, but I'm like, yes, they got it right. Good job. But I guess I shouldn't have been worried, because the main actor, he's British, but you would never know it because he
Hmm.
sounds like he's from LA. So
Oh, interesting. I mean, that's
yeah.
kind of like Idris. I mean, he's British, and most of us did not know that for a long, long time. And
Mm,
I mean, and he's kind of, I think he's mastered um different dialects. I can hear a lot of his British now that I know, but like he's still very good at what he does. So,
mm-hmm. No, I mean and I think that was the other reason why too I wanted to really watch this, because his name was being floated around in regards to
hmm.
a possible replacement to Jonathan Majors, but
Mm,
that's still a
mm,
discussion for another day. We will
yeah.
get to that some other day. But yeah, he was definitely a very good actor, and should that happen, and he's yep, those are words. But yeah. And but yeah, that is a Snowfall. Why was I talking about Snowfall? Oh, because I hadn't mentioned it before, but I did finish it, and I'm now just
Nice.
gone back through Spotify to listen to all the music that they showed, because they do a
Hmm.
great job of their needle drops. And
Hmm.
I mean that as a compliment. Like that is a job that I would love to do, is be a music supervisor for a show and like just
Yeah.
find either obscure or just the perfect song for the perfect mood that would just either offset it just right,
Hmm.
or it's a gift. It's an art, and I totally respect the people that do it and they do it well. So
Yeah.
kudos.
Agreed.
Yes, indeed. Now this will actually jump a little further, and I think this will be a topic for a future episode. Um, but I wanted to discuss, what do we have in our perfect film series?
Inception
Hmm.
is one. Um, and of
Well, I wrote them
course,
down. I'm sorry to make you just
oh,
put I well, because I
well,
wrote them
go
down.
for it.
I was trying to see if I've missed out on some, and I'm writing
Okay,
one
well,
right
you tell
now.
me. Let's reverse engineer. You tell me what you have, and we figure out what we are missing.
Well, what's funny is you correctly went with the first one, which I wrote down or had down, which
Uh-huh.
is Inception.
Uh-huh.
Um,
It's perfect.
I did put Matrix,
Yes.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once,
Yes. Yes.
and I'm putting just right now just Spider-Verse because we have the first one, which I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure you've seen.
Yes, of course.
Okay, now I don't think you have you seen the second one yet?
I have.
Oh, you have. Okay, I must.
I
Yes,
have.
I think I do
I
remember now.
did
You
tell you
texted me,
this.
and you did because you were very excited. Yes. Um, and then I put down Endgame.
Okay. I'll accept that.
Okay, I mean, this is something that we can debate. We don't necessarily have to keep it in there. There may be flaws to it. I just know that it had everything that I needed for
Yeah.
like if the MCU were to end and it ended there, like
You'd be happy.
bravo. Yeah, bravo.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
agree.
and a movie that you're going to talk about later, I wrote down Arrival.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
And
agree. I agree with the list. Is that it?
that's it. The one that I just added, and I'm not sure if you've seen this yet, and it's Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Haven't synced it.
Okay. So that's one that we would have to kind of put a pin in until you are able to. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to check now to see if it is streaming anywhere, because that would make this a homework assignment for you. Just,
Okay.
so you can,
That's
oh, it's
fair.
on Amazon Prime. So you can watch it.
Oh, looky there. Looky there.
No. But I mean, I definitely feel like it's something that you would like.
Yeah.
So then after you do watch it, then we can come back and then kind of discuss what makes a perfect film, what goes into our pantheon, and what is it that, I don't know, we can look for to add to it, or who's in the running, who just missed
Mm-hmm.
it, kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
And
I'll have
even
to
with that,
think
I'm still,
about that one.
I know, I'm still putting it, I'm going to put a question mark over Endgame because I don't know, your confidence for it wasn't like,
So, no, I love the movie, but I think I've only seen it the one. Maybe I've seen it twice, but I know for sure I only saw. Well, I saw it with you once. I don't know that I actually saw the whole thing
we
from
watched
start to
Endgame. I
finish.
know we saw Infinity War together, but I don't know if we saw Endgame. Did we see Endgame?
Mm, was it not Endgame that we saw?
Well, we saw Infinity War because after it ended, like, because we were in that really like
Oh,
fancy
that's
theater,
right. We were real pissed
and it was
off.
just super quiet because we're like,
Yeah. And we're like, man, maybe this wasn't the right movie for us to see together.
I thought it was,
Mm,
well, I don't say perfect, but it would have been perfect if we got to see Endgame together too. So that way it just,
that's true.
like, okay, it would have come full circle. We've been
True.
devastated together, but then we would have been rejoicing together too.
True facts. True.
And
Well, uh,
that's no offense to my sister, because that's who I did see Endgame first with. And we were in the stands cheering and like, oh my God, I can't. And yeah, when that was happening, and happened several times, because I mean, it was I think I might have to make another list, and I think it might have to be a list of like perfect theater moments or movies
Mm,
definitely to be seen in theaters, and that was definitely one of them.
yeah, yeah,
And I would
agreed.
also include Inception in that list too because of how that ended and how there was an audible
Oh
gasp in my
yeah,
theater.
yeah. What? Like
When
what? What happened? One of those type of moments. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, it was, whew, that was something. So maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm still gonna leave the question mark over Endgame, and we can figure that one out. But we'll revisit it because I need to know how you feel about Scott Pilgrim and if we can add that to the list
Mm-hmm.
because I do feel that is a perfect film, but I need your your cosignage
Mm-hmm.
assignment. Hmm.
Co-signage. I don't know.
Your agreement. Yes, but yeah, that's something I kind of wanted to put down there for that. And I think we're gonna move now, I guess since we kind of already talked about it, just your recommendations, because I'm looking at my list here and I don't really have anything new or noteworthy to get to. But yeah, recommendations. And I kind of already spoiled yours a little bit, but that's because you told me early and I'm like,
That's
ooh,
okay.
yeah, let me get back to write down this thing here.
I'm
But
I'm okay with that because I haven't
okay,
gone
okay.
into why I strongly recommend this movie. So
Mm,
again, my recommendation is Arrival. Um, this is probably only my second time watching it. I watched it earlier in the week. Well, sometime recently. But I watched it because I saw that it was available to me and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have been wanting to watch this movie and it's streaming." And so I found it, watched it, and I realized a lot of things that I missed the first time. Um, and one of those things is the song called, let me pull it up real quick, On the Nature of Daylight.
okay.
It's by Max Richter. Um, if you've been on TikTok at all, that's one of it's a trending song on there, and so it's played in the movie a couple of times, and you kind of because of the way that it's played, you might miss it. I don't know. But knowing that it was played in this movie and then doing a rewatch just to be like, how did this movie go? What were the twists and turns? Those sort of things. I was able to pay more attention to the background stuff. You know, I've always said that music, like a movie soundtrack, is like a character, is another character in the movie, and that absolutely plays, or that absolutely rings true in this movie. Um, Sound and music is really important in this movie. So it's I just love. It's hard for me to get into the whys of why I love this movie because a lot of the whys is very spoilerific. But I will say the storytelling is to me very unique, and you know, I had the realization that there really is nothing new under the sun. There's nothing unique, really. Well, there's nothing new. No topics, no subjects are really new. All of them have been covered, but the way that you cover it is how it the topic or the subject or whatever stands out. And so I really loved how um, the topic of aliens, because Arrival is about an alien life force that visits Earth. And of course, in true human fashion, we freak out. We get our military personnel in place. We're almost ready to go to war, but we don't know the language clearly because we're different species trying to communicate with one another or trying to fight one another. We don't know. So
Hmm.
Amy Adams' character, who's the lead, she is a linguist, but she did some work for the government, and because of like the nature of the work that she did, and because of how successful she was in that mission, they decided to call upon her and like narrow it down between her and some other folks. Anyway, she got it. And she goes about trying to communicate with aliens. But the way that it was done, the story that progresses out of just who she is, her life, and how she approaches communication with the aliens is so very um, just unique. So it's such a subtle, it's not a. I recently also watched or rewatched War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning and some other people, and that was very much high action, you know, eh,
I really do love
explosions
that movie.
everywhere, Huh?
Mm.
What'd you say?
I said I really do love that movie.
It's a great
I don't.
movie, but
Yeah.
Arrival is not that movie. It's
Oh yeah.
much
No,
more,
I agree.
much more quiet, much more subtle. Just it's so cool though. So I um highly, if you can't tell, I highly recommend Arrival if you can find out where to watch it or buy it or rent it or something. Just to go on that journey, go on that journey again if you've already seen it. It's such a great movie.
And it's directed by Dennis Villeneuve, or whoever his last name is.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I don't
a
remember.
black
I don't
guy.
have it in front.
That's all I
Is he
know.
black?
I thought it was black.
I thought
Oh,
we went through this too, and I think he's a white guy.
I know. I mean, that's fine, but
Yeah, he's a white
I
guy.
thought
He's a Canadian.
oh yeah, he's definitely a white guy. But he did a great job.
Because
He
we've
did
had
a
this discussion
great job.
before, because he directed Dune, and
Oh,
um
okay.
yeah,
He
and
did.
that
You're right.
other movie, Blade Runner,
Blade
the new
Runner.
Blade
Mm-hmm.
Runner. Yeah, or
2049.
yes, which apparently there's a 20. There's another Dune, not Dune Runner. Wow, I'm mixing up movies now. Blade Runner, or at least okay. Am I making that up? I thought there was another Blade Runner movie
I
coming.
don't know. I think you're not making that up, but I don't know much more about it.
Yeah, I can't find it. So I totally agree with you. The movie is great. It's very pensive. Like it takes its time, and you have to take your
Yeah,
time with it. Like just
it's
get
just very
into
quiet. Just because the movie is quiet and the pacing of it seems a little not as actiony, does not make it a boring movie whatsoever. It really follows the emotions and the what the character is going through, the main character, like her life, and follows her. So it's directly related to her and her perspective.
Mm,
So it really works. So it makes you think, it makes you slow down, and it makes you really feel those tense moments when they come up.
mhm.
Feel those action moments when they come up. So it's very I think it's an effective use of the just a slower, at least the feel of a slower paced movie.
True. I do agree, and I think that's just probably my takeaway too. And it rewards viewers who watch it maybe a second time, because it does at times like a loop, because it's all about the language of being a circular
Mm-hmm.
language, and there's no beginning, no end. And I think because it's been a little while since I've seen it, but I do remember parts of it not quite making sense at first, but then once you
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Yeah,
see
you have
through,
to
like
stick
you go
with
through
it.
her journey, yeah,
Yeah.
and her learning a language in order to repeat it later, or maybe earlier. I can't remember. I need to watch it, because I'm
Yep.
misremembering some of it, but it felt like not out of order, but just circular. And
It is not chronological. A lot of the information that we get, actually any of the information that we get is not chronological, which sorry
mm,
if that is a spoiler, but um it does make sense. You just have to stick with it.
mhm. And be patient. It is good. It's worth it. Like it's totally
Hmm.
worth it. And I remember
Hmm.
when we had Parisa Fitzhenley, she was on, and she talked about how
Yeah.
much she loved it too. So
Yeah.
it's not that you need any other additional people to, if
But even she likes it.
yeah, yeah, but it's great. It's worth watching and rewatching. And every so often I do see it pop up on, because I think I own it on my Prime, or my video account thing. And I'm like, oh
Hmm.
yeah, I should watch that movie, because it's a gentle movie in the best way.
Gentle. That's a good way to say it's gentle.
Right, and it fits in line with Dennis's other films, at least the ones that I've seen, such as Dune, because that
Mm,
really has a mood to it. But the mood that Arrival brings is one of like discovery and awe and curiosity, but
yeah.
also a little bit of tension because you don't
Yeah.
know what these aliens are going to do. And like, are they going to attack? Like, oh, they just want to
Well,
communicate.
and
Like, what do
you,
they have to tell us?
yeah, and you have to have tension in a story for it to be a good story or to be a story. So it's
Oh,
there.
yes.
It's just in a
Hmm.
different way than you would think in an alien movie.
Correct.
But I
Correct.
loved
And you
it.
start to, right. And there really is a lot to love about it. And yeah, I'm glad you re-recommended it and told us again and want to go check out again because it's well worth it.
Hmm.
As for my recommendations, and I have plural this time.
Okay.
Um, first of all, another shout out to our good friend AJ. I'm saying we're friends now over at the Y Files,
Hmm.
as I had watched one of the, I don't know which when this one came out. I didn't write that down, but it's the video, The Time Traveler Who Vanished. So I had to,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, well, you seen that one?
Hmm. I think I
Okay.
recommended it.
Possibly because I just know that you recommended the channel and then I just kind of went from there and just started watching everything.
Yep.
So the one, what I liked about it though is because like we talked about before, how he does his wrap ups at the end where he says like whether this is true or not, you know,
Hmm.
debunking whatever. But he made a point at the end of this video to be kind to your future self. And that
Ooh.
really, yeah, that really struck a nerve with, well, not a nerve, but struck a chord with me
Yeah.
because that's similar to me where every time I sign off on the podcast saying to live without regrets because you
Hmm.
are trying to get to the point in life where you're, many years down the road. And he says this too, but, a bit more eloquently than I am saying it now. But you get down the road 10, 20 years from now, and you look back on
Hmm.
that time and you're like, man, I wish I did that thing. Or, maybe I wish I didn't do that thing, whatever that
Yeah.
regret is, but trying to live without it. So,
Hmm.
live your best life now, make those, I mean, as long as it's smart, a wise choice. Like, don't go out and break somebody's window just because I want to know what it felt like. No, no. I mean,
Right.
things you know that you're not you might regret, like not taking that chance, not applying for that job, or meeting that new person that could end up being your spouse, or just
Hmm.
taking that risk, taking that chance. So you don't want to have that regret. I know that I have a handful of those. So I'm
Yeah.
doing the best I can not to have any more
Yep.
of those. And I'm being kind to my future self. So I'm trying
Yep.
to save some money for my future self because Lord knows that that has come in and I have thanked my past self for future
Hmm.
self,
Hmm.
saving some money aside or signing up for certain apps like Opportune, hint, hint, wink,
Hmm.
wink, nudge, nudge. So, putting some money in stocks and investments and all that stuff. So, yeah, got all that from a conspiracy theorist not podcast, but uh, YouTube
Me too.
channel, which is great.
Hmm.
And I love that he's taking that title back and like, hey, that if it is what we are, then so be it. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah. It's not a
So
bad thing. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's one of my recommendations is to check out that one. And even though you may have recommended it, I might not have watched that one until earlier this week or last week.
Hmm.
And I once I heard that, I'm like, oop, I'm writing that down. I got to. So
Hmm.
I become such a fan that I am ready to get myself a Hecklefish plushie, but I
Me
can't right
too.
now.
I would love one.
I cannot do that right now because it is not financially responsible, and I will have regrets if I do it right now. So I
Hmm.
have to wait.
I get it.
Yeah. My other, I almost said regret. It's not a regret. It's a recommendation. My other recommendation is again what we talked about last episode, but because this episode is coming out the same day that what I'm recommending, and I haven't even watched it yet, but
Hmm.
I'm recommending it, is Kizazi Moto Generation Fire on Disney Plus. And again, this is
Ooh.
a African animated series. I think it's an
Hmm.
anthology, really,
Mm.
of like all these stories originated from African folktales, maybe, I think.
Hmm.
I can't remember the trailer. I watched it a week ago. I didn't write any notes down. It's like, nope, watching it. Say less.
Yeah.
I'm watching it. So I can give you a better review next episode because right now,
Okay.
because I haven't watched it, but I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it. Yeah. So that is
Nice.
my recommendation. And hopefully by next episode, I will have a sound effect. I decided I'm just going to go ahead and just add the Godzilla sound effect for T Rex, even though Tyrannosaurus Rexus. What is the plural of Tyrannosaurus Rex? Rexi? Rex?
I
Rexum?
like Rex Eye personally.
Rex? Okay. Tyrannosaurus Rexi, they maybe made a low grumbly noise, like growly, 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 growl. So, I can't quite use that for
Hmm.
a sounder. So I will just go ahead and go with Godzilla's roar because I can. And that's what I'll do. But that'll be next
Nice.
time because my soundboard isn't even working today. So everything's
It took the
edited in
holiday
post.
off.
Yeah, it took the holiday off. It decided it needed to update today because it's a holiday.
Yep.
And speaking
Yep.
of that, oh, that's something I skipped over. Now, this isn't a recommendation. It's just something I've been doing to pass the time. And I kind of had to catch myself because it's gotten in the way of my sleep a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, and I had to stop it because I didn't want it to get in the way of my work, like my day job. So I was like, okay, let's
Hmm.
put this away. But I've been playing a new mobile game. Had to put what have I been playing? Townscapes. Had to put that aside for a little bit. And I was playing this other game called Lumber Inc. or Lumber Incorporated.
Hmm.
And it's basically this guy who, well, not a guy, like you are in charge of a lumber yard and you're cutting down trees and then you're processing wood, making lumber. It's a one of those idle games. So you can come back and like, hey, you made like $2 billion while you were gone. So yeah,
Nice.
I don't know. It's been fun, but the thing that's driving me crazy is the ads. And I probably would have already bought the ad-free version by now, but I'm being financially responsible and I don't want to have any regrets. So I'm dealing
That's
with the
right.
ads.
So don't. Yeah, you got to deal with it like the rest of us.
Yeah, got to deal with it. I'm also bringing it up because I think because it's a holiday that we're recording, and I've been playing this game all day today because I can, because it's a day off, not doing anything other than packing. Um, the ads I think are also taking a break because I haven't been able to play any of them. And
Oh,
you think this is a bad thing, or you
okay.
think this is a good thing?
No.
I'm sorry, you think this
Yeah.
you think this is a good thing, right? Yeah. Except in order for me to acquire certain points and certain upgrades that I need to watch
Hmm.
ads. And if I can't,
Ah, yeah.
yeah, and
If you
if I
can't
can't
watch them, you
access,
can't upgrade.
I can't upgrade. So I'm at a
That
little bit
sucks.
of a loss here. And I'm struggling, and there's nothing I can
Hmm.
do about it.
Because you can't force the ads.
I
So
can't force
you
the ads
get to
because
upgrade.
it's just sitting there swirling like, yeah, there's no ads ready, or I'm like, and I wasn't sure if it was the Wi-Fi, so I turned off. Like I went on airplane mode. I came back. I
Hmm.
almost restarted my whole modem just to make sure, like my router, and
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there. I I, I don't know. I don't know how I feel. We're gonna move on. What are you grateful for today?
I am grateful for paid holidays off of work. I have worked holidays in the past, and
Thank you, Jesus.
I am grateful to be able to enjoy. I'm not gonna go into my rant about July 4th,
Mm,
or Independence Day. I'm not gonna do it, but I am grateful for having the opportunity to be off of work, paid, not having to worry about it, and just I'm just grateful for that. I'm grateful that I have a job that allows for that, even though we didn't get Juneteenth, but that's okay.
mm-hmm.
Um,
I was gonna
but
say talk about, but we'll
no,
wait. We'll put it on the
later.
Patreon. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, another day. But
Hmm.
I'm just grateful for that. I know there's a lot of hardworking people who are working today, and it's just another day for them. And I have been there, but I am grateful that um, I get to just enjoy the day off today
Hmm.
and other holidays.
Right. And I'm with you too, because I mean, you've already said it, but I too have been in situations or work. places where that wasn't always a thing, or we still had to go to work, like especially if you work in
Yeah.
retail. So those people who work in retail, I feel you. I was
Yeah.
there. I know. Um, uh, Hospitals, restaurants. Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand. I understand. So
Yeah.
we are grateful for you for what you
Yes.
do.
Very
So
much.
yeah, or have done if you don't no longer work there and you are with us and you have the today
Mm-hmm.
off, and if you're lounging, if you're out cooking on a grill somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
um, or just resting. But yeah, yes, yes. I am grateful for two things. First thing is I am grateful for the knives that I have. I know this is a weird way to set up.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten better at deboning chicken breasts because
Nice.
I realize like I don't want to deal with this. Like these bones here, I don't want any of this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's much cheaper to buy the chicken with the bones in them versus buying the boneless chicken breasts, and when I can actually do
Yeah.
it myself. Like I know what it's supposed to look like when it's done, like
Right.
finished, without the bones. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, it might be a little sloppy, but it's okay because once the meat's all cooked up and prepared, you don't even know. It's just like, ooh, chicken. And then you just get into it. So
Mm-hmm.
I am grateful for having knives, like sharp knives that are well equipped. Although I realize that some of the chicken that I've had, I can actually just rip the bones out, and I'm like, I don't know if it's strength or being barbaric. I don't know. It's just had to get the bones out of here. So like, it's just enough
Mm-hmm.
of this. So one of them I was actually a little lazy and I left everything on and just threw it in the air fryer. It came out really good. Like the meat was tasty. The skin that was on was
Yeah.
all nice and crispy. Because yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Ashley likes a nice clean chicken, so usually all the skin is taken off. But chicken I
Yeah.
made tonight, they were drumsticks. So I left all the skin on, they're on the bone. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna treat myself like a child. And then once I get to take my couple drumsticks, I'm just gonna shave off
Mm-hmm.
all the meat and then throw the bones away because I
Mm-hmm.
am an adult. I can do what I want. It's like I don't need
That's
to just
correct.
yeah, I don't need to hold the bone and just yeah yeah yeah. No, I'll take it, cut it off because I would do it for Ken and it would just be looking so good. I'm like, why don't I do that for
Mm-hmm.
myself?
Mm-hmm.
Save my work, save some or save
Right.
some. Yeah, so I started
Some
doing that for
eating work.
myself. Yeah, and I mean, you cut all the meat off anyway, so you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
trying to get around to the grooves. I'm like, oh, that's still bone, or that's
Right.
a gristle, or whatever. Yeah, you just good. So do it. I'm telling you that as not you, Courtney, but just another listener. I mean, I'm telling you too. You can do that as well. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. Eat the chicken how you want
I
to eat it,
got you.
but
I
yeah,
got you.
and we all enjoy some boneless like meats, and you don't have to worry about all the huff and bustle and whatever. So yeah, shave it all off, but make sure you have some good knives to do it. And we do, and I think
Mm-hmm.
we need some better ones, but we're going to come to that later down in the road. We don't have any kind of registries for a new place. We do have one for the baby, but not for like a new place, but whatever. My other thing I'm grateful for, it's more of a shout out. And I always kind of end the podcast kind of asking you if you have any shout outs, but I actually want to give a shout out for someone I am grateful for. And that is my dear friend Jason Fitz, who I've been like talking to over the last few months, I guess, since I started at Espen. He's a great guide, great person, and just want to give, flowers where flowers are due. And he's someone that I've gotten to know over the last, like I said, a few months. Even my wife has got to hear him as I edit like some things that he's worked on, and he's just got so much energy. And these are things I would say to his face because we exchanged text messages where we're just saying, just encouraging each other. And he's definitely been an encouragement to me in my career. So I'm just thankful for him taking the time just to bring me other under his wing, so to speak. I have not introduced him to the chai that I've told you about earlier, but I did tell him I was such a fan of the pink drink that he almost got one day with me, but he got his regular whatever it was that he gets. I didn't pay
Mm-hmm.
attention because I'm like, it's not the pink drink. I don't care. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yes, just wanted to shout him out and say He's a great guy. I love you very much. I thank you for all that you've done and can't wait to see you again and hopefully get you on the podcast, which he's already agreed to. I'm just waiting for the right
Mm-hmm.
time. I don't know if that'll be the
Mm-hmm.
big 200, but we'll figure that out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice.
And yes, you said you're grateful for a paid holiday off. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Amen. Yes.
Now, yeah. Now, do you have any like shout outs or do you want to be found anywhere? Any links or anything like that?
No, you can catch me at indoob on every social platform. Um, if you need to reach me for anything or have a question for the podcast. So please hit us up.
Yes, please. And that is indoobpod@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. I got you. I got you. If you got any questions or even comments, we'll take comments and then we can read them on here and share them and discuss them. And if you have any ideas or suggestions for this big 200th that's coming, and yeah, let us know. There's also there's also an Etsy store, but I don't really want to promote that quite yet because I'm still working on it. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's live, but there's really only 4 things on there for sale right now. But you can go check it out. It's Indoopod. Wait, no, Indoob shop. So etsy.com/shop/Indoob shop. Yeah, go check that out, I suppose. Like I said, at the time of this recording, there's only 4 items. So don't get too excited. You can find all things at Indoob. Go to indoob.com. You can go to the T Public store. There's still stuff, a lot of stuff over there. And go to the Patreon if you would like to support us over there. There's still some things, some extra things that we recorded, stuff from Love Blurs over there too. A whole bunch of stuff. Like I said, you can find me at all things at Indoob. Go to indoob.com. Remember to value the people that, oh my goodness, I'm murdering everything because I don't remember how any of this goes. Severely
What
distracted.
are words? What are words? You
What
know,
are
they're just
words? I
made
know.
up.
I think that's because I was teasing you earlier, wasn't it?
Yep,
What?
that's it.
Yep,
It's
that's
karma.
it.
She's coming back for
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm. Sure enough. The point is to value the ones that you value, or tell the people you value that you value them. That's what I was trying to say. Remember to live without regrets, like we talked about earlier. Be kind to your future self and live for the folks you love. Remember to wash your dishes, the undersides of your dishes, the undersides of your cups and glasses, and the undersides of your pots and pans, because those get pretty grimy if you don't
They
take
get
care of them.
gross, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I need to find some TikTok tips. Wow, that was really hard to say. I can't say it again, and I won't. About keeping your air fryer clean, because I need to find better ways to do that. Tried a whole bunch of different things, and yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's another thing. We'll get back to that. Wash your legs and the rest of your body, all of it. I've been your benevolent host, T. Sterling Watson, and remember, if the world didn't suck, we'd all fall off henceforth and forevermore. And the church says,
Amen.
Amen indeed. Thank you so much for listening to the Indoob podcast. To get more Indoob in your life, check out indoob.com, patreon.com/Indoob, and of course, merch over at TeePublic. Email us your Ask Indoob questions, comments, or just say hi at indoobpod@gmail.com. Linky dinks in the descripts. Please rate, comment, follow, subscribe, and hashtag tell your friends. Until next time.